Hi everybody, I'm Kyle from Griffin's Greenhouses. It's time to make your winter arrangements, and today I'm going to show you how we make our standard evergreen planter. First thing we're going to do is talk about the container. I'm going to be using a new container with our sand mixture and a foam floral brick in there. If your planters still have the annuals in them from the summertime, you can simply cut those off at the soil surface, and the roots all in the soil are going to act to help clutch all the branches in, and you can use that for your winter arrangements. Otherwise, if you've got some empty planters that you want to fill, you're going to need to use a heavy topsoil mixture or a black earth mixture, something that's going to give you a lot of weight because we get a lot of wind and heavy weather in the winter time. Regular potting soil, it's too fluffy, just doesn't hold the branches well enough. Okay, so then that said, we're going to get started with the boughs. In our standard mixed bundle, we have 3 different kinds of branches that we use in our pots. Red pine, which is large and prickly needled. White pine, which is a lot softer and more drapey look to it. And then cedar, which has that lime green look and a bit of a lacy edge to it. First thing you want to do is find your red pine and pick out the longest, tallest, straightest branch. That guy you're going to cut, and he's going to be your center. Okay, I may have gone a little long on him because what you're looking for is about 1.5 times the height of your pot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push him down right into that brick of foam or the soil mixture or whatever you have, so that he's just about straight and almost at the back, sort of pointing towards the forward part of your pot. Then you take the remainder of the branches of red pine, and you see how the boughs have a curve to them? All those curves you want to have coming outwards off the pot. So you can clip your small branches and they can go up near the front. You can clip some of the longer guys like that, and they can stand up a little bit more in the middle, as long as they're angling out towards the edge of the pot. Don't forget the back, because you want the pot to look good from all sides. Another branch back in here. Make sure they go down good and tight into the soil or the foam, whatever you're using. And always try to clip your branches on an angle so that it's a knife going down into that soil. They slide in much, much easier. Finish off with another branch up front. And what I like to refer the red pine to is the skeleton of the arrangement. It's just the bare bones. It's there as a strength to hold up against the heavy winter snows that we get, but it doesn't make the entire pot. It's just there as the bones of it. Okay, so I think we're there with red pine. Then we move on to white pine. This guy here, some of the branches are pretty long and you need to cut them down to size. I like just doing all my cuts at once, and then you can build after that. A branch this long here, I'm going to cut the top of it out and then leave all 3 of those together so that they all go in the pot as one branch. Take the center out. Those 2 are fairly long, and these ones I'm going to leave and use in a smaller project. That's a big branch, that one and that one. And a couple more final clips, like so. Then I put my clippers down and gather all your branches. And this white pine is a much drapier, softer looking branch than the red pine. And what this one I refer to as is the body of the planter. It's filling in all of these gaps that the red pine has left, all still while following that shape, arching out towards the edge of the pot. Remember to keep branches going around the outside edge, creating that skirt, and in the center so that it fills in really nicely. And it looks like a lot that's going in the pot, but what happens is when we get heavy snowfalls, these pots don't pancake down. they don't flatten out with the heavy snow because they've got lots of branches in there to help hold up against it. Keep turning your pot as well, sort of work in front of you. That way you can always see which way the branches are going, and you get a nice even look all the way around. So there, the white pine now has filled in the holes and created the body of the planter. The next green we move to is cedar. Now cedar's got a lime green color when you compare it to the other two greens we've been using. It's much more of a lime green. Clip the branches about 8 to 12 inches long on the cedar, just to make sure that they don't explode out through all the other greens. But what you want them to do is become part of the shape you've already created. And I refer to the cedar as kind of putting clothes on the pot. We've created the skeleton, we've put the body on the skeleton, and now we're putting clothes on the remainder. And the cedar gives a really nice difference in color and a difference in texture. Okay, so then continuing to add cedar until it shows itself throughout the whole arrangement, giving you that lighter color to the pot. Next step, we start adding the decorative elements. I've grabbed some hydrangea blooms out of our garden, let them dry. And what you want to do now is take a look at your pot, maybe take a step back and try and find any gaps or holes that need to have something put in them to fill it up. Make sure you put your decorations down in amongst the blooms. Don't have them standing way up above them. They're supposed to be part of the arrangement. So I'm adding 2 hydrangea blooms to the pot there, sort of offset. And then I decided I'd probably go with 1 natural pine cone and a couple of the red ones, just to give it a pop of color. So I'm gonna group these fellas at the front here. Put one there, another guy there, and that. Then to finish off the container, I always like to add dogwood. Try to keep things in odd numbers, stems of 3s and 5s. And the dogwood, what you want it to do is sort of mingle in at the back, but come up just to the height of that main stem. And then check it all the way around. Make sure that you have a nice skirt happening all the way around. And that's how you build our standard evergreen pot.